Biological father will be your biological father. Your biological mother will remain your biological mother, but there is no biological wife or biological husband, unfortunately.
Not yet.
You cannot bind them that you will remain my wife, you will remain my husband. It is susceptible to change. So what is Shakti Trine? We will be discussing that. And how does this Shakti Trine impact in an individual's chart? How does it function? What is the differences among these three zodiac signs? Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. They all belong to the same group of elements, which is air. All these three signs are belonging to the element air. So what is the major difference here? How do we conclude? How do we reach that point where we can differentiate between the three different types of airs? If you have a guide, if you have a guru, he can elevate you immediately. What he has learned in 50 years, maybe if he is ready to give you his blessings, if he is ready to open up and share with you everything, if he finds everything fine with you, then he can actually give you that knowledge within that 5 months. But even the elevator will have to move on floor to floor. There is no shortcut. Basically, what I am trying to tell here is there are no shortcuts in astrology. It is just up to your blessing. It is just up to your own stars that you are blessed by a good teacher. If you are blessed by a good teacher, the journey of 50 years can be completed in 5 months or 5 years, depending upon your individual capability and the intensity of blessing by the guru or the teacher. So there are no shortcuts. If you want to reach the top of the building, then you have to go through every single individual floor of the building. So first of all, the foundation needs to be very strong. You need to pour in concrete. You need to have strong iron in the building. Same for astrology. You need to know your houses. You need to know your zodiacs. You need to know your planets. The better you know these three, these are the foundations. These are the pillars. These are the basis of your foundation for any building. So like any building, these are the foundation for a good astrologer. Rest techniques are superficial, decoration of that construction. You can use as much as decoration you want. You can use as many techniques you want. But if you do not know the basics, if you do not know the basis of astrology, then eventually you will make mistakes. So that is the reason why I have chosen this subject, this off-track subject, Shakti Trine. In particular, shlokas, the importance of the element of air. But today we are going to discuss how differently that air impacts in Gemini. What is the difference of air in Gemini? What is the difference of air in Libra? What is the difference of air in Aquarius? All these have air. All these have element of air. But what is the difference? How they differ from each other? Okay. So a very brief introduction. So I am your host. I am Gaurav. I am from New Delhi, India. I have been an astrologer past 25 years now. I have been into the realm of spirituality and meditation since 1996 and more now. So it's been more like 27 years and so on. I have been a faculty member at one of the topmost astrological institutions teaching astrology and other occult modalities to hundreds of students there. I have trained numerous existing astrologers and tarot readers, professional astrologer and tarot readers all across the globe with my set of skills. I have, so basically, I also conduct these certificate courses, which is Basics in Vedic Astrology, which covers all the basics. Then I also conduct the second module, which is Advanced Techniques in Vedic Astrology, which covers details of marriage, which covers details of identifying a profession, which also covers medical astrology. Then the third module I conduct is Prashna Kundli, which is Horary Astrology. Nakshatra Jyotish is the fourth module. It is typically and specifically based upon Nakshatra. I also conduct courses in Krishnamurthi Padatti, KP Astrology. I also conduct a module in Nadi Jyotish, Vedic Astrovastu, Ancient Vedic Tarot, and I also conduct research classes. So if anybody has any questions, any queries regarding this, they can directly contact me on the provided number here. You can WhatsApp me, you can call me, you can send me the details. And the best part of my classes and my teachings is that I conduct one-to-one classes. My classes are live, one-to-one. I don't do classes in groups. I teach every student individually, making sure that they have all the information, what I am trying to teach them. They get all the information which works for them. So they cannot complain that I am not able to use that knowledge. So that is the specialty I teach on individual basis. So Shakti. I mentioned today we are discussing the Shakti Trine. So what does Shakti really means? When we refer it to ancient texts, Sanskrit texts, the meaning, to understand Shakti Trine, which comprises of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, having the same elemental force, air. That is called a Shakti Trine. But why it is called a Shakti Trine? In order to understand the Shakti Trine, we have to go to the ancient classics, understand the meaning of Shakti, according to Sanskrit, what it really tells about Shakti. So Shakti, the meaning of Shakti is energy. In basic context, it means energy, power, ability, strength, skill, the physical consciousness, and the highest consciousness, which is ether, the earth, the physical consciousness, and the highest consciousness, ether. But in the middle, there is air. It is a medium, counteracting on both the ways. So that is why it is one of the things which relates to future. But I have taken this previously, why it relates to future. But today's discussion is not about only and only element of air. It is about Shakti as well. So it relates to future. So Shakti Trine. Let's understand where is the Shakti Trine in a chart. So here on left, we have a circular chart. And on the right, we will have a square North Indian chart. So here we have the Shakti Trines in both the chart, comprising of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So horoscope is nothing. It is just the presentation of your old Janma, previous life, Sanchit Karma, karmic efflux, all the karmas which are pending. So in this life, your horoscope shows you with the medium of these planets that you will reap these fruits. Now fruits will either be good or fruits will either be not as per your choices. It is the development of this sign is gradual, not instant. So the rise in their life is gradual. There is no rise, sudden movements there. There is no sudden reaching the moon. It is step by step, gradual. Why there is so much control and command? I will give you another example. What is the sign in opposition to this? What is the opposite sign for Sagittarius? Oh, sorry, for Gemini. It is Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the 9th house itself. So there is a direct relationship of action and fortune here. Action from the 3rd house and its forthcoming result from the 9th house. What you do, how you act will generate your upcoming fortune. 3rd house and 9th house. So the changes are gradual. They don't like sudden changes, and the rise will also be gradual. If the rise is sudden, then one from the Gemini, then there may be some, then it is an indication of it's a warning It's an indication of a warning that now it is time for one to be cautious. If you have gained suddenly, if one having a Gemini sign has excelled suddenly, then it is a warning. And has anybody observed these three zodiac signs closely enough? What is very common in the symbology of these signs? All these signs are human signs. They all have human figures. What is the second common element in all these three symbols? Third house is very evident. If you act, which is related to your actions, which is related to your courage, you will eventually achieve. 11th house again is your achievements, your gains, but there is also achievement related to the 7th house. How it is, I will tell you this further. So Gemini, since there is duality in Gemini, it always shows collaborative efforts. So Gemini, when collaborates with somebody else or puts an action in collaboration with somebody else, then they are hell-bent for achievement. Then they will eventually achieve. Since Gemini, the symbol in itself, represents a mind of a woman and a mind of a man. They both represent both kind of abilities, how to think like a woman and how to think like a man. It also represents that, which shows huge mental capacity of creativity and communication. The word Shakti was talking about gift. So what is the gift for Gemini sign? The gift is mental creativity. Because of the capacity of two minds, it is having capacity of two minds. It's a double mind sign. So Gemini shows the evolution of a child. Libra, contrarily, shows an evolution of a youth. Why it shows evolution of youth? I'll come down to that. So since Libra is associated with the evolution of youth, why? Because in Libra, we are talking about, again, we are talking about a woman completes a man completes a woman. That is why there is this phrase. Although we are not looking onto the positive aspects of these relationships these days, and specifically astrologers, because most of the time they are looking at the complaints. So we're not able to look at the positive aspect of this beautiful relationship. So it is about completion. And that completion after Gemini is achieved in Libra. That is why it is also called the house of partnership. What? You cannot say and go, okay, from today onwards, you will be my father. I like you as a person. You will be my father. You will be called my father. You can't do that. It is not possible. Biological father will be your biological father. Your biological mother will remain your biological mother, but there is no biological wife or biological husband, unfortunately.
Not yet.
You cannot bind them that you will remain my wife, you will remain my husband. It is susceptible to change. The temperament of the sign, in accordance to Gemini, which was dual, Libra, which was movable. Contrarily, the third sign belonging to the Shakti Trine, Aquarius, is fixed. It is not movable. It is not dual. It is fixed in nature. Gemini shows early evolution of a teen. Libra shows an evolution of a youth. And Aquarius will eventually show evolution on its final stage of a... So Gemini is all about the conception of a relationship, communication. Libra is all about balance. Libra is showing, why Gemini is showing collaborative efforts? Because it is about two different individuals. The mind on the right hand hemisphere and the left hemisphere. The masculine mind and the feminine mind. And that is why it is called Aquarius. So Aquarius is a very calculative sign, I would say. Not in a bad sense, but in itself, it is a very, alarming sign, I would say. If I see an Aquarius ascendant, I'm a little alarmed. Because it is all about tactics. the air of Gemini in an initial conception, like when Earth evolved, anything which evolves in its initial stage is not actually having that fragrance. So it is an air of stale aroma, initial conception. Contrarily, the air of Libra. Now, so Gemini, so the air belonging to Aquarius is a cool air. Even if you associate it with Saturn, you'll find it very much well associated. So the air belonging to Aquarius is a cool air. So the air belonging to Libra is cooler, in fact. And air belonging to Gemini is even colder. Why? One major difference here is, in all these three zodiac signs, is that in the third, Gemini, and in the Aquarius, there is no planet which gets either exalted or debilitated. Contrarily, it is only Libra where Sun, the highest authority in our solar system, and the furthest planet, again belonging to an authority, Saturn gets exalted, and contrarily, Sun gets debilitated. So this is the debilitation of Sun, which is showing, and that is how we differentiate the creativity, the elemental functioning of these three zodiac signs, and how they differ in their own behaviors, and how all of these, although so very different but so very similar and related to each other, make you able to achieve that what is present in the material world. So that is why these three zodiac signs are associated with Shakti Trine. So anybody who has, so this was my kind of complete presentation on Shakti Trine. This is what I could think of about Shakti Trine, from all those experience of 25 years and eventually learning from my teachers and my gurus. What is the difference and how they differ from each other. So this is what I learned. This is what I had to present. And for anybody who has joined recently, these are the courses that I run. If you have any curiosity to learn Vedic astrology, I run certificate courses on all these subjects. If you have any questions, you can contact me directly on my number provided here on the screen. You can WhatsApp me, you can call me, you can mail me. I have provided the email ID in the chat box as well. So this would be the end of all for now. This is the presentation here. And now all are open for discussion. Just let me unmute you all. All right, now you can unmute yourself. So question, please. If anybody has any questions, this would be the right time to ask now.
I have one question, sir.
Gifts. Yes. One having a particular ascendant or a moon in that particular sign. In fact, you will see they are actually using it to some extent. Some may be using it extensively. Some may be using it, moderately. But that is the gift, that they are bound to have this gift no matter what. You made the foundation so very well. Now it is all about keeping the pillars in a straight form. They should not taper off. If their pillars are tapering off, you won't be able to construct the building. That is like a Libra, creating that balance in Libra. And eventually, if the balance was there, if the conception was fine, if the foundation was strong, if the evolution was strong, then eventually what will happen is you will reap a good outcome from Aquarius, which is gain of a very beautiful, well-constructed building eventually. So work against nature and try to bear a child in a particular ascendant by getting a cesarean birth. Even then, as I mentioned in one of the, that is where Hindu astrology works beyond this, because we have not only done, we are not working on 12 zodiac signs, we are working upon 27 divisions of these 12 zodiacs. And even further, we are working upon 108 divisions of these zodiacs. You can control the ascendant, but you cannot control the 108th division. A planet may be exalted during that particular ascendant, but it may be debilitated in that division, the 108th division, or it may not be in a very well nakshatra. Then what will you do about it? Lead. So to complete 27 nakshatras, I need 27 different talks. And it would not only be talking about them, then you need practical application, for which again, I believe you need at least 10 more sessions. That is why I say this is such an elaborate subject, which needs the guidance of a teacher to be taught under. You cannot, there's so much of detail, and even after detail, it is not about the detail. You can pick up, buy a book, you can read extensive detail. The trouble with nakshatra is after some point of time, all the nakshatras, a lot of nakshatras seem to be similar. They seem to be giving the same result, and that is where the confusion arises for every individual. And that is how I have worked upon it. By the blessings of my teacher, I differentiate every single nakshatra from every other nakshatra. There is no merging of things. That is the only thing. If you can differentiate every nakshatra from other nakshatra, because every book at some certain point of time will give you similar characteristics in many nakshatras.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
That is where a teacher comes in. That is where my role comes in. So these are, very fine observations which I have learned over experience, my journey of, more than 2 decades.
Okay, so the body holds the horoscope. That's what you're saying, really. It's a sort of embodiment of the horoscope completely.
Yes. Many a times, if I look at a person, then I am, many a times, not every time, many a times, I'm able to, tell that you have these 2 planetary combinations in your chart. A mole here, right beside your lips, has to be definitively Venus, or there will be role of Venus. A strong Venus, an active Venus. They really help when one is not having a horoscope. Combined with all other, learnings that I have. So I can actually, conclude what a person is going on planetary, what is a person is going through in planetary combinations, even if he or she is not having a horoscope.
Wow. Thank you.